It was a few months ago when the RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das had said that the RBI is working on building a central bank digital currency and they will soon release guidelines on the same. Since then, of course, there's been a lot of interest as to what is the timeline that RBI is looking at what stage is a consideration at, etc. Remember, of course, the central bank digital currency is not going to be the same as other virtual currencies like Bitcoin, etc. This will be under the central bank. It will be regulated by the central bank. It will also have certain norms in terms of issuance, usage, etc. And also, it will be issued in the denomination of the local currency that is existing in the country. So, for example, in India, it will be issued in rupees. So, of course, a lot of questions around what the RBI is planning. And today, in a speech, the RBI Deputy Governor Rabi Sankar spoke about the central bank digital currency. He said that the RBI is currently working towards a phased implementation strategy and they are currently examining use cases which could be implemented with little or no disruption. So, of course, it is at a stage where there is a lot of discussion and examination happening in terms of what are the different models that could be used. For example, retail model or a wholesale model, can they be used for both or not, etc. He said that some of the key issues that are under examination currently is one, the scope of CBDCs, whether they should be used in retail payments or also in wholesale payments, the underlying technology, whether it should be a distributed ledger or a centralized ledger, or whether the choice of technology should vary depending on the use case scenario, the validation mechanism, whether token based or account based, and very importantly, the distribution architecture, whether it should be directly issued by the Reserve Bank of India to customers or it should be issued via bank. So that is going to be very important, whether the customer has a direct account with the Reserve Bank of India and all the interactions and transactions happen via that account, or the banks are allowed to issue these central bank digital currencies directly to customers. And lastly, the degree of anonymity. And he's also said importantly that conducting pilots in wholesale and retail segments may be a possibility in the near future. So that could be the next step, that we may see a small level pilot that could happen. So these are the points that the Deputy Governor revealed are under consideration for a central bank digital currency, and these are the talks that are going on within the Reserve Bank of India. Now, he also gave his views on how a central bank digital currency could be good for a country like India. He said that basically, for emerging economies, it is going to be beneficial. He said that India's high currency to GDP ratio also holds out a benefit for CBDCs to the extent that large cash usage can be replaced by the central bank digital currency. The cost of printing, transporting, storing, distribution of currency can also be reduced. Keeping all of these in mind, it is, of course, he said in his view, going to be important and helpful to introduce CBDCs in India. He also said that CBDCs are desirable not just for the benefits they create in payment systems, but also might be necessary to protect the general public in an environment of volatile private VCs, for example, like Bitcoin, where there is a high level of volatility based on a lot of statements that are coming in and where people are losing money. So in such a scenario, a centrally organized digital currency would be really of great help if it is put in place, and that is something that is being used widely in the country. So that is something that the Deputy Governor put his views forth on. But very importantly, they are currently considering the implementation, a phased implementation strategy is what the RBI is considering.